Hello and greetings from Eastern Europe, my name is S.T.A.L.K.E.R and this is the list of the very best post-apocalyptic video games. I have only one rule: you will not find here games where the main apocalyptic event is zombie apocalypse. So even Telltale's The Walking Dead, they are billions, and The Last of Us are great games. They are not in this list because zombies are very strong subgenre and they deserve their own video, which is coming soon-ish, well, someday. That being said, enjoy the list. Mad Max. The world of Mad Max was created in the year 1979, when Australia, yeah, not USA, made a movie about a man named Max Rokitansky, very Polish surname I should say. Mel Gibson, who starred Max, was awesome, and the movie, which cost only 400,000 Australian dollars to make, made 100 million real dollars and also a Guinness record for the most profitable movie ever made. Great things come to those who wait. 36 years after the original movie, in 2015 we've got ourselves a game that kicked the roof from the skeptics' heads. Here you become Mad Max, the lone warrior in a savage post-apocalyptic world where cars are the key to survival. In this action-packed open world, third-person action game, you must fight against vicious gangs of bandits and stay alive in the wasteland. Game is really good and probably one of the best examples how to create a game based on a movie plot. Frostpunk. Post-apocalypse gaming has many forms, and one of those forms you are now seeing before your eyes. Frostpunk is the first society survival game. As the ruler of the last city on Earth, it is your duty to manage both its citizens and its infrastructure. Optimization and resource management often clash with empathy and thoughtful decision making. An example, if child is injured at work, you have several options of what to do next. Ban child labor, limit child employment to relatively safe jobs, or just ignore the injury and put children to work anyway, because those who shrunk us wouldn't make themselves. Horizon Zero Dawn. I used to call this game Witcher for little girls, because it has somewhat similar battle mechanics, open world full of monsters, many dialogue, third-person view and so on, but there you will not find any gore, twisted creepy quests, splattering blood fountains or boobs. Yeah, no boobs is a huge disappointment, and not only because boobs are a good thing to show, it just means that the game is meant for the younger audience and will not be as good as you would expect it to be, because products meant for children are not as good as products meant for adults in general. But all this aside, Horizon Zero is a great game to try. It will bring you much of fun at the beginning, but later it will start to repeat itself. You'll have to clean yet another bandit camp, another cauldron, rescue another NPC and so on. The only thing that kept me going was the main plot of the game. How and why there are animal-like robots everywhere? How does that even started? Is there a vodka hidden somewhere? Those questions are the real engine of Horizon Zero and probably will keep you going too. Sadly, game is for PlayStation 4 only. Fallout 3 and 4. Actually, Fallout 3 and Fallout 4 are about the same. If you played those several years apart, I can guarantee that it felt like you picked up just where you left. Slight improvement in graphics, different quests, but the main idea and feeling of Fallout 4 is exactly like in Fallout 3. Both games even comes to an end unexpectedly quickly and leaves you with the same
"Is that it?"
feeling. Speaking in general, both are great games. I had tons of fun playing them. I also bought all DLCs and I wasn't disappointed. And you can find vodka in there. Great games. Also, if you're feeling nostalgic or adventurous and never played Fallout 1 and 2, try them just for sheer curiosity. Aren't you interested how all of this started? And by the way, now it's a great time for you to press that like button. Press it now, and when winter comes to Eastern Europe, I will drink vodka to your honor. Sunless Sea. This is a gothic horror RPG set in the Victorian Gothic universe of fallen London, with a focus on exploration, exquisite storytelling and death. If the giant crabs, sentient icebergs and swarms of bats don't get you, madness and cannibalism certainly will. Sunless Sea is more like choose your own adventure novel than a game. You'll have to read a lot here. Don't expect fancy combat or fast plotline full of exciting events. No, game is slow and a bit repetitive, but the brilliant storyline, writing quality and world building aspects are all handled very well. If you like slow-paced, story-rich games, then get in the boat and try to fish biggest marinated herring you can find.
Yes, they come from sea already marinated if you're lucky enough.
Rage 1 and 2. Whether you are raiding raiders with your fancy boomerang of death, racing your bucket of rust around, or just taking up a harmless addiction to gambling, Rage is an interesting look into life after end of everything, and that end came along with an asteroid. Not very ingenious plot, but I guess still better love story than zombie apocalypse. Why there is no game with vodka-pocalypse? It would be a great plot. What do you think? Leave a comment below and tell us how your scenario of vodka-pocalypse would happen. Anyway, Rage 1 is way more loved than the second, though it also seems to have really big problems on Steam version. One user stated that the game starts crashing after you finish about 50% of the game. Even if that happens not for everyone, that is still terrible lottery to play, but if you manage to get Rage on sale, it can cost you only about €3. Rage 2 is another story. It's a great shooter, and to finish the campaign you will need about 40 hours of your time, but it's a bit repetitive. People call it open world version of Doom or Wolfenstein, where everything in the world looks pretty much the same. Also, at least at the time of making this video. If you want to buy DLC, you'll have to buy a game coins at first, and only then with the game coins you can buy DLC. Should I mention that there is no amount of coins to buy which equals the price of the DLC? It feels like a low-level scam, and that is sad.
Bethesda, for F's sake, what have you become?
Stalker. While Stalker 2 is still in the works, let's talk about what we already have. So, Stalker franchise, if I can call it that, has 3 episodes: Shadow of Chernobyl, Clear Sky and Call of Pripyat. It is 3 different games, but basically because they are all made using the same X-ray engine, which is only slightly improved with every episode, it's hard to tell which game came first to an untrained eye. All 3 games are amazing, and they can all fit under local post-apocalypse category, where only an isolated spot on Earth was affected by the apocalypse.
Still an apocalypse? It counts!
So, here after the second disaster of Chernobyl nuclear plant, all kinds of schnarble glorbs are released into the world, and you, being a stalker, you collect various artifacts and sell them. And of course, there is a non-linear plotline and monsters. Some of them are very scary, especially some invisible creeps in the sewers, and yeah, Stalker is a horror game. You'll have to have tough balls to play it alone, but it is an amazing experience and I'm definitely recommending it. Metro game series. Games are based on the story written by Dmitry Alexeyevich Gluchovsky and is set in the ruins of Moscow following a nuclear war where the survivors are forced to live in the underground metro tunnels. You play as Artyom, a man who must save his home station from the dangers lurking within the metro. And there are plenty of dangers. Various mutants and humans relentlessly try to put Artyom out of his misery. Literally, because living in those conditions are nothing less than misery, so enemies are actually trying to help here. There are 3 games in the series, and last one, Metro Exodus, was released in 2019. Here you finally get out of the tunnels and try to make a living in the post-apocalyptic wasteland of the Russian Federation. Strangest thing when playing English version of the game is that every character talks English with a Russian accent.
So, they were telling the truth.
Who was telling the truth?
So they are all Russians who decided to speak only in English or something? That is a terrible decision and almost ruins the whole game. You can find a full review of Metro Exodus on my channel, watch it for a closer look. And now I should ask you again, have you pressed that like button? The Long Dark. It is a thoughtful exploration survival experience that challenges solo players to think for themselves as they explore an expansive frozen wilderness in the aftermath of geomagnetic disaster when all the power suddenly went down. There are no zombies, only you, the cold, and all the threats Mother Nature can muster. You will struggle hard in here. You're gonna be eaten by wolves, freeze to death, starve to death, die from thirst, or catch nasty dysentery, and you know how death comes then. Anyways, in the survival mode, death is permanent, but every time you play, you'll be writing your own survival story that you can tell your friends later. 50 square kilometers of northern Canadian wilderness will keep you busy for a long time. A great game with very positive reviews on Steam. Nayar Automata. I have no idea how to spell it right, but I don't really care. In the post-apocalyptic world, we will have way bigger problems than spelling. Humanity has been driven from the Earth by mechanical beings from another world. In a final effort to take back the planet, the human resistance sends a force of android soldiers to destroy the invaders. Nier is made by Square Enix, a Japanese company, so the whole game looks like an anime, with huge unrealistic swords, super shiny special effects, women who look like underaged girls, and men who look exactly like women.
Welcome to Japan.
So, anyways, if you like anime and
Japan?
play this game, you'll be excited by everything in it, and if you don't, just avoid. It's probably not for you. Also, I have heard that the PC port is not as good as console versions, so I do recommend playing it on your shiny PS4 or Xbox One. Elex. This is a handcrafted action role-playing game from the creators of the Gothic series, set in a brand new post-apocalyptic science fantasy universe that puts you into a huge seamless game world full of original characters, mutated creatures, and deep moral choices. Here you will find truly open world without borders and loading zones. Also, here you can use jetpack to explore any place above the ground. I should mention that the game is really hard at the beginning, but later, if you manage to live long enough, you will love it. The world exploration part is awesome. It will bring you lots of fun. Do not buy it if you're looking for a post-apocalyptic gothic game. It's nothing like that. Combat feels more like Dark Souls. Also, AI is very weak. Some monsters ignore you, some will act strange. Well, that kills mood a bit. But in general, Elex is a great game. Sunless Skies. Here you play the captain of a locomotive, a steam engine fitted for off-rail travel, sailing the stars, leading your crew into trouble and out of their minds, smuggle souls, barter for crates of time, stop for the cricket and a cup of vodka. Discover more of the deep, dark and marvelous fallen London universe as seen in their previous game, Sunless Sea. You can play either game first, the stories coexist happily like vodka coexists with its bottle. By the way, Sunless Sky is also a narrative game. All action is just an addition to a bigger story. Be prepared for that. It is a great game with very positive reviews on Steam, but it's meant for more mature audience who has a lot of free time and can appreciate the game in slow manner. And man, there is not a slightest chance that you watched this list to this point and you don't like what you see. So press that like button now, and every babushka in Eastern Europe will think about you when harsh winter comes. Those thoughts will warm you and you live longer. Wasteland 2. While we wait for the Wasteland 3, which will be released someday in 2020, let's talk about the second incarnation of this beautiful post-apocalyptic RPG game. Wasteland 2, which is created by the producer of the original Fallout game, offers over 80 hours of gameplay. Assemble out your ranger squad with devastating weaponry, test the limits of your strategy skills, and bring justice to the wasteland. The choices are yours, but so are the consequences. Here you will find hundreds of characters, thousands of variations on your ranger's appearance, and over 150 weapons. No two players will have the same gameplay. Actually, Wasteland 2 is what classic Fallout games would be if released today. Several ways to finish the quests, lots of customization, RPG elements, and turn-based fighting makes this game a great experience. Sheltered. I love pixel art games as I love all games drawn by hand, like Diablo 1 and 2, StarCraft Brood War, and so on, because drawn pictures, even in pixels, age very well. Also, you can see them as a work of art. So, that being said, pixel art game S.T.A.L.K.E.R is a deep and emotional survival management game. You take on the role of protecting 4 family members who, after a global apocalypse, have found their way to a deserted shelter. Imagine yourself panting and scared while the shelter airlock smashes down behind you. You wish you did not have to go outside, but you do. It would be way easier to give up, but you don't. The hardship, the hunger, the thirst, the fear. You keep reminding yourself why you stay alive, why you do this, then you hear it.
Daddy, you are back.
Your wife's face lights up and you open a bag full of medical supplies. You better not tell them how you got them. That is the feeling you get while you play. You will forget that it is pixels entirely and just dive into survival mode the game offers. This is a great experience with mostly positive reviews on Steam. Fallout New Vegas. You were expecting it, aren't you? It is probably the best post-apocalyptic game ever created. When it was released, many were thinking that New Vegas is just a standalone DLC of Fallout 3, but it's nothing like that. It would be the same mistake to think that potato salad is just another salad.
Blasphemy!
Both Potato Salad and Fallout Vegas are much better than you can ever imagine. Game was created by brilliant studio The Obsidian Entertainment. The same guys have made Pillars of Eternity, Tyranny, and Star Wars Knights of Old Republic 2. Those names speak for themselves, and Fallout New Vegas is no different. Amazing main plot, immersive gameplay, and big guns. A lot of guns. With double the amount of weapons found in Fallout 3, you'll have more than enough new and exciting ways to deal with the threats of the Wasteland and the locals. In addition, Vault-Tec engineers have devised a new weapons configuration system that lets you tinker your toys and see the modifications you make in real time. So grab a bottle of Nuka vodka and participate in the adventure you will never forget, or probably otherwise, that Nuka vodka is a strong stuff. Now it's the time for honorable mentions. I Am Alive, Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, Fallout Shelter, Mutant Year Zero, Recore, Fuel, Atom RPG, Tom Clancy's The Division, and Underrail. As I have stated before, I'm not including zombie games into this list. There will be another list just for those games. So subscribe and never miss a good game ever again. Yes, now it's the time for you to subscribe. I have no doubt that we can have a long and fluffy relationship together. Just you and me. Come on, do it. Subscribe. Also, I invite you to follow my Instagram, Twitter, and especially Facebook page, where I post not only my own videos but also links where you can legally download legal games absolutely free. Thank you for watching, don't forget to press that like button and leave a comment. I will read all of them. Have a nice day, bye.